Hello, Michael.
Hayski. What's up, Nay?
How's it going, buddy? Hey, looks like those notifications went out.
Nick
Yay.
Brown. Show.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Freelancer. WTF when Jen said that.
He said it in a he said it in an interview, man. Let me get the video of him saying it. Here's the video of this fucking jack fuck. There's an ad we gotta sit through first. It's not giving me a full screen option. This is MSN.com, so it should have a full screen option when it starts playing. So give me a second with this, guys. All right, I'll try another website. It was 60 minutes. It was 60 minutes where he said it.
The threat of war.
Big Merc 83.
My brother wishes to provoke.
Sup, gang?
You should take his place on the throne.
Alright, fuck all this shit. This is for fucking cuck bitches. This fantasy shit. My little Dungeon and Dragon
President
cuck
Biden
bitches.
declaring the coronavirus pandemic over.
Nay's Garden.
Is the pandemic over?
Download
The
Twitter or
pandemic
visit
is over.
twitter.com and search at Nay's Garden, at Nay's Garden Show, at Trivia News for the full podcast experience.
The
YouTube
pandemic
channel at
is
Trivia
over.
News
We
on
still have a
Twitter.
problem with COVID. The pandemic is over. The pandemic is over. The pandemic is over. The pandemic is over.
So it's like a pelican, the pandemic, and the pan is like a Republican. The pandemic is over. Well, there it is. There's your wonderful science-loving president, Joe Biden, lying to you. He can say whatever he wants, but it doesn't change the fact that there's a disease that is killing people spread all over the country. That makes it a pandemic. That's the very definition of a pandemic.
All 4S.
So I ask you, who is smarter? Me or the fucking president of the United States of America? Who's smarter? Isn't that funny? That I'm literally smarter than the president of the United States of America? Isn't that funny? I am. My mom actually gave me the weird eyes when she heard Joe Biden say that. I made her listen to the tape, and she was like, I was like, uh-huh. And she was like, I saw her do this, like trying to all reason her way through it, but you can't reason through that, can you? Because it's a straight fucking lie. It's a straight lie. So he's taking up, the Donald Trump methodology of politicking, where, this is what the Trump, the age of Trump, the era of Trump brought in. It ushered in just straight fucking lying to your face and then saying that you can't prove anything or whatever. Hey, Griffin. Yes, all these motherfuckers are liars, and if you can't see it on both sides, then you're a cuck bitch. If you can't call Donald Trump out for the same shit you see Joe Biden doing, well, you're a cuck bitch. He fucking lied about the pandemic too. He called it a fucking a Chinese hoax, I believe. He uses that terminology to describe several things. I believe he calls his penis Chinese hoax too. Fucking Donald Trump. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. I need your votes. And I'll tell you it's a hoax. All for votes? Are you going to vote for him? Hey, man, he just put your children at risk. He just put your elderly at risk. He just put you at risk. He put the whole goddamn country at risk. You going to vote for him now? You know, people were saying he mishandled the pandemic. Oh, there is no pandemic to mishandle. Oh, that's yeah.
Oh,
I've got a bulletproof invisible shield on when we're playing cops and robbers. That's him. Yeah. Yeah. Let's tweet that.
Big Leo. Yone.
I'm gonna say natives, cowboys and natives.
Magnarelli. Hi, Nay.
Hey, Richard Magnarelli, what's up?
Sea fishing.
Hey,
Dude, when I
Dave.
saw him say that on video, I was like, what? Dave sea fishing. Trendy Mafia were. Berg 83. This morning show was excellent. Freelancer. I see you packing one. I'm rolling up one as well.
I'm packing one up. TD. I'm packing it, son.
John Welder. Hey, Nay. Man, the English really do put on a funeral.
Dude, that's only for the Queen. They don't give a fuck about anybody else over there. That funeral is only for the Queen, bro. Trust me, they couldn't give a fuck about you if you die over there. All right. No law regarding cannabis. Dude, this kind of looks weird, doesn't it? Everything's kind of weird.
Freelancer. That funeral was nuts.
You watched it, you sucker. You watched that stupid fucking charade. That stupid fucking goddamn pomp and circumcunts. Oh my god, dude. Look, I'm doing a pity bong rip for TD Freelancer, okay? I'm doing a pity bong rip for you, bro. This is for you because you actually sat through that bullshit. Dude, I did gardening outside. I worked on my dams. I was in the creek. I was doing fun shit, bro. Had a great time outside. Had a very nice neighbor come up and chat with me for a while. Saw my mudfish in the creek again. And I got to show her. I was like, check out the mudfish in the creek. It was pretty cool. Had a fun day. All right. Cheers, guys. No law regarding cannabis.
John Welder. That palace is insane. They spend so much money on their landscaping law.
Yeah.
Freelancer.
Maybe they should spend some of that money on their fucking poor.
Scott and Man. Hello, Nay, and all trendies. Cheers, everyone.
Hey,
Dave sea fishing.
All right, cheers, everybody.
How big is the mudfish?
Anywhere between 6 and probably 9 pounds. It's hard to tell because he's underwater. He wants to get out of there, but he won't swim through the fucking pipe. So
Freelancer. Scott, I was thinking the same thing, like how much they used to make that place. Dave Sea Fishing. Holy fuck, I've caught up to £8.
if this
Freelancer. Sorry, Patrick.
if this rains again and it'll rain hard, he might swim out, which would be great. That would make me happy. But yeah, he's long, dude. He's got to be, a foot and a half long.
Fishing.
Yeah,
They can live out of water for hours. They
I
have
know.
air bladder.
We were talking about that yesterday. They are really cool fish, man. They come up and they hit the top of the water and they get oxygen from they get air like a plecostomus does. So I've been watching him do that, which is pretty cool. Dominic Leo, thank you so much for sharing this on Twitter.
Leo. Cheers, Nay.
Cheers, buddy. $591.9%. Yeah, sweet soul. Oh, great. When was that? 43 minutes ago, Biden declared that. That was just a few minutes ago. So you're hearing it first here on my show, probably. Most of you are. I like bringing you the news, man, up to date. Polio has reemerged in the United States. But you want to bet it's because some people are refusing to get their children vaccinated. We have a vaccine for that, you know? Ethereum might pick up some gains here. It just completed its software upgrade, and that's going to slash its carbon footprint, and people are going to be all happy about that. It might put them in the spotlight.
Subro, Trendus, PSH.
Baba Blue Jaws, time to smoke. It's always time to smoke. When Baba Blue Jaws is here, we'll say it's 4:20 in Newfoundland. Cheers, everybody.
Blue 313 Setstven. Tap in, folks. Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. NF, cheers.
Everybody's ignoring my call. All right, whatever. No Discord. So that'd be nice if we see that. Oh, you guys want to see the definition of pandemic? Pandemic. An outbreak of a disease that's prevalent all over a whole country or the world. Sounds like COVID. Sounds like COVID today. September 19th, 2022, we still have COVID. It's still all over the world. It's still killing people. How is that not a pandemic, Joe Biden? You fucking idiot. You fucking liar. You fucking piece of shit liar. Yeah.
Wooshker. You believe in COVID on LUL.
You're a fucking idiot. You're blocked. Hey, is anybody else in my chat not believe in COVID? Does anybody else in my chat not believe in it? Let me know. Let me know. That's fucking hilarious. I'll have my mom come over here and tell you what it was like when she caught it. I don't know where she is right now. She's not within earshot. But I would love to have her just answer a couple questions. Mom, was that the sickest you've ever been in your entire life? Yes. Mom, was that sickness that you had, that COVID, have you ever had that before in your entire life? No.
If you listen to Leiden, you're beyond lost, PSH.
I don't know who Leiden is. If you listen to Leiden. Oh, Leiden. I gotcha. Leiden. Well, he says the pandemic's over, so that's what the President of the United States says. So I'm allowed to say it on social media because that's what the President of the United States says. And do you guys think that he's lost his mind? Do you think that was a political maneuver? Or do you think that he's just demented, old, and lost his faculties?
Guitar jam.
Hey, Cyber.
Moo.
I called for you. I called for my Cyber. As soon as I call fucking Chuckles, he dismisses the call. Fuck you, Chuckles. Hey, Cyber. Chuckles is like, fuck you. Fuck you too. Oh, nobody else answers the call except for you. At least you're here.
Yeah, I heard you called earlier, but I was on the toilet, so.
Oh, okay. Well, now everybody on my live show knows.
On the loo.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Freelancer.
Hey, Nick
OMG,
Brown.
Biden said some crazy things in that 60 Minutes interview.
He said some other crazy shit. We talk about MAGA Republicans again. I love that one. God, he's such an idiot. He's such an idiot. Oh my God. Ugh. MAGA Republicans are the biggest threat that humankind's ever seen. Okay, fucking Chicken Little motherfucker. I don't think we really have enough time left. I know. I don't think we really have enough time left for anybody to really fuck up anything worse than what climate change is about to do to us. You know, it's like you can say this and that and government that and whatever the fuck, but in a few years, it's all going to be a whitewash, bro. You know, it's going to be, you know, you're either living or you got fucking climate changed. So, you know, AOC says she doesn't even know if she's going to be alive in September or November.
Freelancer.
Yeah, I think she said so.
On how interest rates are not up that high. Biden thinks the rates are okay and not too bad. Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. Definitely a political maneuver #fuckbeaten.
Well, you know, just don't buy anything. Just don't buy a house. That's all I say is just don't buy a fucking house. You know? Dead species walking, the battle with climate change is over. Hey man, it's a premiere. Oh, he's got different premiere music than me. I like that. You can change the premiere music. I didn't know that.
I told you, bro.
Oh, you did tell me. That's right.
Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. Cybervoota.
How do you do it though?
Hey, Blue.
Cyber's like, I told you, bro. Cyber's got my back. Don't you forget it. Cyber can only take care of me if I let him do it. I gotta fucking... He can lead me to water, but he can't shove my head under it and drown me like I deserve. Nick Brown!
Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. Top.
Unreal. All right, let's see this premiere from Guy McPherson.
Please excuse a short advertisement before I proceed. I am offering an audio course in conservation biology, completing the course several months after I made it available. Details are at the link in the description immediately beneath this video. Contrary to my usual approach, links
His microphone is horribly distorted.
to the other articles I mentioned in this video are not included in a blog post at guyMcPherson.com.
No law regarding cannabis.
All the information
Top
I
of the
mentioned in this
hour.
video has already been made available several times at the Nature Bats
Cheers.
blog.
Cheers.
So I'll skip the mundane task of listing the papers yet again. Not to worry.
Sean
They're
aka
all
20
easily
Oka.
found by using the search box at
I'm here now.
guyMcPherson.com.
Hey, Sean.
The battle with climate change is over because, as with almost everything else, humans treated it as a battle. We're warriors, apparently, preferring to fight instead of opting for love. Instead of treating the living planet and its organisms as relationships, we have treated every non-human being as a resource. According to departments of human resources, formerly called personnel departments, people have become resources too. We're no longer persons, we're resources. These profound changes occurred during my 62 years on Earth, consistent with the three-word motto of industrial civilization: must go faster. With this video, I'll present a quick overview of abundant information I have shared previously. All of this information is based on the work of other scholars, largely because I reached the conclusion of abrupt, irreversible climate change leading to near-term human extinction after I had made profound sacrifices on behalf of the living planet. Had I known 15 years ago what I know today, I would still be on the campus of a major university, living a life filled with privilege, being paid to
Sean
think,
aka
if you can
20
imagine
Oka.
that. Instead, my
glasses,
pursuit of
May
right
looking good,
action
bro.
in the absence of relevant information led to my departure from campus life, and then a coordinated defamation campaign that effectively removed me from the public service I was offering for no charge.
Mr. Blue 313
This campaign caused nearly every friend and family member to conclude I'm a terrible person, thereby terminating most of the relationships in my life. As I pointed out in this space previously, this is not about me. However, my erasure from public life will have the sad consequence of contributing to nearly 8 billion people dying ignorant and confused as we continue to lose habitat for human animals on Earth. First, the quick overview. Civilization is a heat engine, and reducing industrial activity will heat the planet even faster. 2 degrees Celsius above the 1750 baseline never mattered. A much lower planetary temperature has already triggered many self-reinforcing feedback loops that have taken relevant climate change actions out of our hands. 2 degrees Celsius above the 1750 baseline is already behind us. The ongoing demands for you and me to reduce our emissions so that wealthy people can use their remaining fossil fuels on Earth will not prevent the temperature from rising to 1.5 C above the 1750 baseline. Ditto for 2C. Finally, I'll conclude with a little advice that I've given before.
Maze Garden.
Live your life.
Download
Within the
Twitter
bounds of
or visit
maintaining your integrity
twitter.com
and
and
treating others
search at
with
Maze
respect,
Garden,
stop
at
making
Maze Garden
personal
Show,
sacrifices
at
so that
Truthian News
others
for the
can
full
continue to
podcast
exploit the living
experience.
planet. Get out
YouTube
there.
channel at
Live.
Truthian News on Twitter.
And now, a few details. Civilization is a heat engine, as pointed out in 6 peer-reviewed papers authored or co-authored by Professor Tim Garrett at the University of Utah. It matters not whether we power civilization with coal or solar panels. It's still a heat engine. In a vexing paradox,
Guys in the
reducing
chat
industrial
talking to
activity
everybody.
by as little as 20% will cause a 1C spike in global average temperatures that will cause loss of habitat for most life on Earth within a very short period of time. This latter tidbit comes from a paper in the peer-reviewed journal JGR Atmospheres, written by Hiram Levy II and colleagues, and published on January 18th, 2013. Complete cessation of industrial activity will trigger a 55% increase in global average temperature in the wake of aerosols falling out of the atmosphere.
He's like see-through. You can
As
see through his
Professor
head.
James Hansen has said in many interviews and
It's like a
presentations,
ghost.
the aerosols fall out of the atmosphere in about 5 days. As a paper in the June 15th, 2021 issue of Nature Communications indicates, the 55% increase in global average temperature will be particularly evident on land, where most of us
He's
live.
ascended.
Specifically, the temperature will rise 133% over land. Despite what you continue to hear from people ignorant or lying about climate science, 2C never mattered. Furthermore, we've already crossed the 2C Rubicon. The predecessor to the IPCC,
Guy is going extinct right before our eyes. I said that in the chat.
during the final year of its
Daisy
existence, the
fishing.
following. Quote,
Guy is a
beyond 1
genius,
degree
literally.
C may elicit rapid, unpredictable, and nonlinear responses that could lead to extensive ecosystem damage, end quote.
He's
Fair enough.
transparent.
That already happened, probably before the Advisory Group on Greenhouse Gases issued their report in October 1985. According to climate science speaker and writer David Spratt, self-reinforcing feedback
I'm
loops
going
are
to be right
triggered
back
at
in 5 minutes.
0.5
Okay.
degrees C above the 1750 baseline. Spratt shared this information in a presentation delivered during October
Sean
2014
aka Trent
titled
Yorker.
Dangerous Climate Change,
He's like
Myths
fading out
and
low.
Realities. I have shared some of the many self-reinforcing feedback loops
kinda
already
cool.
behind us in my 2021 and 2022 peer-reviewed publications. Wedged between reports from the Advisory Group on Greenhouse Gases and the IPCC, a peer-reviewed paper in the February 10th, 2009 issue of the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences concluded climate change was irreversible. That paper, titled Irreversible Climate Change Due to Carbon Dioxide Emissions, concluded climate change is irreversible for the next 1,000 years based on carbon dioxide alone. In other
Sean
words,
aka
most
Trent
climate
Yorker.
scientists have been lying about our ability to reverse climate
Very
change
cool
even
fact.
longer than many people watching this video have even known there was such a thing as a phenomenon called anthropogenic climate change. The IPCC finally admitted climate change is irreversible in its September 24, 2019 report, IPCC Special Report on the Ocean and Cryosphere in a Changing Climate. Quote, Ocean acidification and deoxygenation, ice sheet and glacier mass loss, and permafrost degradation are expected to be irreversible on timescales relevant to human societies and ecosystems, end quote. I'll quote again from the ultra-conservative political body known as the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. The IPCC concluded the following in its October 8, 2018 report, Global Warming of 1.5 degrees. Quote, these global level rates of human-driven change far exceed the rates of change driven by geophysical and biosphere forces that have altered the Earth's system trajectory in the past. Even abrupt geophysical events do not approach current rates of human-driven change, end quote. In other words, in two reports published less than a year apart, the IPCC concluded climate change is extremely abrupt, more abrupt than at any other time in planetary history, and also irreversible. You'll rarely find this information reported by the corporate media. You'll essentially never find paid climate scientists admitting that even the IPCC has concluded climate change is abrupt or irreversible. It's both. Not only did 2C not matter, but we crossed the 2C Rubicon years ago. As renowned Professor Andrew Gluckson wrote in his October 9, 2020 book, The Event Horizon, quote, during the Anthropocene, greenhouse gas forcing has risen by more than 2 watts per square meter, equivalent to greater than 2 degrees C above pre-industrial temperatures, which constitutes an abrupt event over a period not much longer than a lifetime, end quote. Let's conservatively assume the current planetary temperature, so far, is only 2C above the 1750 baseline. In that case, the global average temperature resulting from loss of aerosol masking will hit about 4.7 C within a few days after aerosol masking is lost.
Happy 710.
Let's conservatively assume the
No
temperature rise occurs during the winter in the northern hemisphere, and therefore the full impacts are not realized until the following spring and summer. Nonetheless, this exceptionally rapid rate of global average temperature increase will cause the extinction of our species, albeit not next Tuesday. The follow-on effects, including the rapid increase in global average temperature leading to the acceleration of dozens of self-reinforcing feedback loops, will take Earth quickly to the 5 to 6 degrees Celsius temperature rise sufficient to cause the extinction of all life. That 5 or 6 degrees above the 1750 baseline will cause the extinction of all life on Earth comes from an open-access, peer-reviewed paper I've mentioned several times in this space. I refer specifically to a November 13, 2018 paper written by Strona and Bradshaw in Scientific Reports, titled Co-Extinctions Annihilate Planetary Life During Extreme Environmental Change. The paper points out that a global average temperature increase of 5 to 6 C above the 1750 baseline within a few centuries will doom to extinction all life on Earth. As ecologists Strona and Bradshaw reported in their paper, the ability to adapt to environmental change is critical for the continued persistence of all species here on Earth. The ability to adapt to such rapid changes applies to all organisms, including human animals. At least 8 species in the genus Homo have already gone extinct, primarily from rapid changes in the temperature of Earth. If Homo sapiens turns out to be as special as the previous species in our genus, then we too will soon disappear. Another relevant tidbit, we have triggered many self-reinforcing feedback loops, only one of which is required for climate change to be irreversible. Even the politically motivated Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change finally admitted climate change was irreversible 3 years ago. Furthermore, the IPCC admitted climate change is more abrupt than at any time in planetary history about 4 years ago. As every conservation biologist knows, and apparently nobody else, the rate of environmental change is the most important factor contributing to loss of habitat and therefore extinction. At least 8 species in the genus Homo have already gone extinct, primarily from rapid changes in the temperature of Earth. If Homo sapiens turns out to be as special as the previous species in our genus, then we too will soon disappear. Finally, I turn again to the 2007 film, No Country for Old Men. My favorite line came from actor Barry Corbin during the only scene in which he appeared in this film. Quote, "You can't stop what's coming. It ain't all waiting on you. That's vanity." End quote. No, you can't stop what's coming. Neither can I, as much as I wish otherwise. What we can do is live with integrity. I'd recommend it. We can also experience joy by bringing happiness to other people in our lives. I'd recommend that too. Share the love. While you're at it, share this video. In fact, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Click the bell when you subscribe so you'll be notified about future videos. Become a member of this channel for additional perks at as little as 99 cents per month. Mostly, though, thanks for watching.
That could shake the hand of Martin McGuinness. Why can't they come back together? That's the question a lot of people.
And that, you know, of course, that's exactly what comes up is coverage of the Queen's funeral. There's no escaping it. It just creeps in, man. It just creeps in. Holy moly. Say welcome to any of Dr. Guy McPherson's audience that decides to come over here and hang out with us. I've been listening to Professor McPherson for years. He actually came into my show once in the chat and answered questions, which was very nice of him. And he's always been available to me and all of my friends and family that ever had questions for him. He makes himself available to everybody. Okay, so this video shows Russian missile strike near nuclear reactor. How close, I wonder.
To Ukraine now, and Russian missiles targeted another Ukrainian nuclear
Collapsing
power
with
plant,
Casey.
this one in southern Ukraine.
Guy is the
Security
most
cameras
important whistleblower
captured
ever.
this moment when those missiles hit the facility just a few hundred yards from the reactors themselves. Officials say the plant's power units are still operational, thankfully. Meantime, Ukraine's President Zelensky insists
Collapsing with
there's
Casey.
no wall on the
Oh
front
my
line. Russian
God.
troops are preparing to take back even more territory.
Collapsing.
Part
Thank you
of its
so
sweeping
much
counteroffensive. Let's bring in CNN
for coming
military
here.
analyst, Colonel
I am
Cedric
honored to
Clayton,
have
who's
you
a retired Air
here
Force colonel.
because I
And
know you came
we've
over
seen
from
now Russians
Guy's
go after
live
another
stream.
nuclear power plant, Colonel. How do you make sense of this? What is Russia thinking?
What is Russia thinking?
Yeah, this is the really.
I'll tell you what Russia's thinking. So, you know, the mainstream media had a field day when they pulled all of their troops out of this region in Ukraine and saying, oh, they're cutting and running, you know, Ukraine is winning, send all your money, here we go, blah, 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 you know, and there was General Wesley Clark saying, you know, don't count your chickens before they hatch, people. You know, he's probably got something planned. Well, before General Wesley Clark said that publicly, I had already said it on my podcast. I said, and my mother and I talked about it. I said, Russia's got something planned. I said, he pulled his troops out of that region. He's going to move them somewhere else. He's going to do something. And sure enough, within days, you know, he's attacking another region. And he may have needed the extra support over there. But in addition, I said, winter's coming, you know, and maybe they don't have a lot of supplies able to get into that area. So he thought, let's just pull them out of there. It'll be easier to take care of them somewhere else. You know, it could be that simple. But, you know, the mainstream media makes this narrative and the shit libs over there make this whole narrative about, you know, Ukraine is, you know, championing this cause and they've, you know, send your money and we need to make this war last forever. When in reality, do you realize if we hadn't sent any money to Ukraine at all, ever, that war would have been over months ago. And there'd be talks going on by now. But this is what the military industrial complex wants. And this is what they're going to get as long as we have people like this that are constantly cheering it on. So do you want to see the cheering section? Here, listen, watch the cheerleader.
In the way the Russians.
How do you make sense of this? What is Russia thinking? Sense of this? What is Russia
Collapsing
thinking?
with Casey.
Russia thinking?
Thanks, Nay.
What is Russia thinking?
Would love to have a smoky
What
chat
is
with you
Russia
on my
thinking?
channel.
Really?
What is Russia thinking?
That sounds great.
What is Russia thinking? What is Russia thinking? This. What is Russia thinking? What is Russia thinking? What is Russia thinking? is Russia thinking?
You know, what is Russia thinking? The chastising and the over dramatization and the head movement and the body movement, and just the over the top, the over the topness of the whole question. What is Russia thinking? I'll tell you what Russia's thinking. They're at war, okay? And, you know, for whatever reason Russia is at war, they're doing more stuff. That's what they're thinking, you know? And quit trying to paint this dramatic picture like this is some surprise, you know, that Russia's got missiles and they're sending them into a reactor when all day you have people like that on that are bragging about all the American missiles that we're shipping over there on the other side of the battlefield to send right back at them all day long.
Let's not count Russia out just yet.
Collapsing with Casey. You should contact me. Are you contactable? Like, are you on Twitter or anything? Because I'm on Twitter at Nays Garden. But the best way to get me on Twitter is at Truthier News. At Truthier News on Twitter, if you're on Twitter. Yeah, I'd love to come on. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, everybody. What is Russia thinking?
Colonel, how do you make sense of this? What is Russia thinking?
Collapsing with Casey.
Yeah, Anna, this is
Cool, I'll email
really
your Twitter.
The difference in the way the Russians wage war versus how we wage war. The Russians are deliberately targeting the nuclear power plants that Ukraine has, along with the rest of the infrastructure that Ukraine controls. So what it means is that the Russians are also probably going to use, or at least make the attempt at using, the nuclear power plants that are still in Ukrainian hands as possible weapons against the Ukrainians themselves.
Sean aka 20 Orca.
Forcing them offline, that would have a significant
Putin is
impact
probably
on the
laughing his
Ukrainian
ass off at the
energy grid,
CNN babe.
and on the power.
Dude, Putin doesn't have time to watch CNN, bro. He's conducting a full-scale war against the entire world right now. You know, it's him versus basically every other country.
Supply in Ukraine itself. So that is the Russian goal. It's really a war against the civilian population more than anything else.
President.
No. Now that's asshole right there speaking. Okay, what he just said was that it's a war against the people of Ukraine, and that's not what this is. It's a war against NATO, and everybody knows that this is based on NATO, Ukraine pledging to attempt to join NATO. That's what started all of this. And if you want to, look into it, you can get the whole background on the politics behind how this all started. But for this moron to sit here and make these claims that are just straight lies, this is not a war against the Ukrainian people. It's a war against fucking NATO. It's a proxy war, and America is on the other side. So you want to know who it's a war between? It's a war between Russia and the United States of America. You know, and the UK and everyone else that's shipping weapons over there.
Yep, you have a good point there, Nay. I didn't consider that. This is a proxy war between Russia and NATO. Nay is absolutely right.
Thanks, Sean.
Zelensky says this current phase right now is not a lull, that this is, quote, preparation for the next sequence. He says a preparation for the liberation of even more cities. On one hand, he's expressing confidence. I don't know if he's trying to rally the troops, but do you think it's wise for him to preview that that's their plan?
I think he already rallied the troops when he literally physically pulled them out of one region and is obviously putting them, and we don't know where he's moved them to, do we? And he's moving them to, they ran, they ran, woo, Ukraine, they ran. Did you guys watch where they ran to? Oh, you were too busy celebrating all that land that you think you just got back in Ukraine. Oh, okay. Well, looks like finding out right now where those soldiers all went while you guys were all celebrating your victory. And it's as if children are running the opposition to this war. It's as if it's being run by children. They literally did end zone touchdown dances and didn't bother to say, where is he taking those troops to? Oh no, Ukraine slaughtered them all with American military, weaponry. Yeah, they were all slaughtered on the battlefield. All the bodies, all the Russian soldier bodies were strewn everywhere. Oh, that's because there weren't a lot of bodies. They didn't find a lot of bodies. They were like, they got video like 6 armored vehicles that were left behind. Why'd they transport all the soldiers out in? This is not rocket science, man. It's just basic reasoning. It's basically how when I heard Dr. Guy McPherson speak for the first time, how I was so easily convinced because I was like, wow, anybody can just reason through this if they just pay attention to what he's saying. If you understand what a feedback loop is, then anybody can understand what's going on with climate, just like you can understand what's going on with this silly thing over here and what's about to go on with Taiwan, China, and the United States. Biden just pledged, our protection against China for Taiwan. That's a whole other thing.
Well, it kind of goes
welcome
both
back,
ways.
bro.
On
Hey,
the one hand,
welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, I just have to go and buy some groceries, man.
The cyber had to buy some groceries. Welcome back. Cyber's back from the city now. Well, the names have all changed since he's been around. But now the bongs are all loaded and ready to smoke.
No, I'm packing. I'm still packing.
He is still packing. He's packing bowls. Now, back here where we need you. Back here where... Well, we tease him a lot, but we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Collapsing with Casey.
Welcome back.
I love the fact he's not religious. All other scientists are religious, and I just think that's beyond nutty and so anti-science.
All other scientists are religious, and I think that's just collapsing with Casey. Casey, I really like the way you think. I say that about everybody that's religious. I used to say it about my mom, but my mom let me know she doesn't believe in God anymore either. And I said, why not, Mom? What was the thing? Because she believed in God, my whole life. Well, what's happened with your father? No God would do this to a human being. And so I stopped believing in God. And I was like, wow, I can't believe it took that. But, welcome to reality. Now I just have to convince her that Joe
May
Biden
they
is
keep
evil.
bombing that nuclear plant came over. Run like hell.
Nay, they keep bombing that nuclear plant. They're continuing to bomb it right now. Well, do you ever think that maybe that first attack was a warning to let people have them a chance to evacuate, and he's going to destroy the fucking thing. He don't need that shit. He wants to run a gas line across the ocean. What's he need their nuclear energy plant for? He might just blow that whole fucking shit up. All right, no law regarding cannabis. Everybody cheers. Oh, Cyber, do you know what that song that was I sang? You know what that's from?
No, but I fucking appreciate it, bro.
Oh, you're welcome. It's from Welcome Back, Kotter. It's an old TV show from the United States. Check it out. Welcome Back, Kotter with Gabe.
Do you know what I watched?
Yeah.
Talking about cheesy TV shows, do you know what I watched last night?
Workaholics.
Yeah, I watched 4 episodes of Workaholics.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch it.
It's actually funny. It is funny.
Dude, it's great, isn't it?
It is really great.
God. Fucking Adam is so funny. Did you already saw the weightlifting one?
No. The last one I saw was the one where they take rooms and the night shift come in to update the computers.
Oh, that's a great one, bro. That's a great episode. I love how they have schemes and they have like plans and they make all these,
Maze Garden.
Yeah.
Download Twitter or visit twitter.com and search at Maze Garden.
Dude, they're
at Maze Garden Show.
They're
at
so
Trivia News for the full podcast experience. YouTube channel at Trivia News on Twitter.
There's so many.
Collapsing with Casey. Corporate was only 1 or 2 seasons, but was a good show.
I don't know about corporate, but listen, Workaholics. You're gonna have to tell me what corporate is. Workaholics is
Melissa Robles. Hey May.
Hey, there's a whole bunch of shows. There's a whole bunch of workaholic shows, bro. So get ready. There's a ton. There's a ton.
Will you want to hear something funny? When I was looking it up last night, I couldn't recall the title. I thought it was Working Girls, and that is fucking something with Sandra Bullock, dude.
Oh, Sandra Bullock.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is they watching, man? Sandra Bullock in 1992, man. What the fuck?
Hey, Nate, what happens if a nuclear facility like that did get bombed? Wouldn't it spread like nuclear?
Not so much. Not so much.
Radiation?
It will be like Chernobyl, I guess. You spread radiation, but it will not increase the nuclear or the bomb coming in. It will just.
It'll be contained in the area. Bomb. Yeah, it'll be contained in the area where it is. It won't really spread out like like Fukushima went out into the ocean.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't have a way to really spread out. It'll just like ruin the area where that's around.
Collapsing with Casey. Ionizing radiation.
Yeah. Hey man, this is what we all want. This is what we're paying for. We're paying the big bucks for this war. So, everybody sit back and thank your leadership for sending all of your money over there to perpetuate this shit. Because I guarantee you that nuclear reactor would still be standing today if we hadn't shipped money up to the tune of freaking 60. Where are we up to? Let's just say $56 billion we have sent to war. Only 1/3 of it has been accounted for on the battlefield. No telling what happened to the other 2/3 of that weaponry and support. Nobody knows where it went. It's like the fucking Pentagon. It's it's the goddamn Bermuda Triangle of fucking funds. And you just throw it out there and it just sucks into a big vortex right down into a drain at the bottom of the ocean.
A lot of lives could have been changed in a positive way.
Collapsing with Casey.
Spending that money over there.
Nuclear reactors are located on bodies of water because they need water to cool the rods.
Let's hope this one isn't on the coastline, bro. I don't know where the location of this one is, but I hope it's not in an ocean.
Collapsing with Casey. And the planet is drying up.
Yeah, the planet. Casey, I used to live in California. I just moved back here about 6-7 months ago. I lived in California for 12 years. I could tell you a story about the pine beetle out there. And I could tell you a story about the fires out there because I had a fire called the Valley Fire that started 1 mile from my house. That year, it turned out to be the largest fire, or the second largest fire in state history, since they were keeping track of that shit. And my house was located, the fire was shaped like a hand, and my house was right there. And the fire burned. The fire basically burned around where my house was for 76,000 acres. And that today is now considered small. And that was 2017.
Collapsing with Casey. Soon it will all burn.
Casey,
we will all roast.
Casey, how many years do you think we got left?
Collapsing with Casey. Glad you got out of there for now.
Right? No law regarding cannabis.
Hold on.
Hey, we're going to wait for the cyber there. Let's listen to
Hold
what...
your fucking horses.
I would say it's best not to preview the plan. There is something to be said for operational security and for keeping these things under wraps. The other thing is this may be a way of motivating the troops and of telling them, and also the civilian population.
No law regarding cannabis, everybody.
This is
Cheers.
Cheers, Cyber. Cheers, everybody.
You can expect more advances.
Cheers, collapsing with Casey.
In the third analysis, a signal to
Cheers,
the
mate.
West saying, hey, we're
Cheers,
not
bro.
stopping. We are moving forward.
Cheers,
and we
everyone.
need your help. So, there's clearly a multifaceted approach that President Zelensky is undertaking, and they want to make sure that they can maintain their momentum. In order to maintain that momentum, they need the population to stay on their side, and they also need the West to continue to provide them with weapons.
And then, of course, winter is on its way to the region. How's that going to change?
Mr. Blue 313 Setstven.
Well, General Winter,
Cheers.
as he was known during World War II, euphemistically, is a key element in the weather in Ukraine and really in the way in which all of the forces move or don't move over that terrain. So as colder temperatures come into play, what you're going to see is, in some ways, it's going to be easier for tanks and
Mr.
armored
Blue
personnel
313
carriers
sets
to move across the country up to a
Hash
point.
keep it
But
open.
after a certain temperature, things can start to freeze. If they don't have the right kind of antifreeze, things could get stuck, and that could
The fucking Russians, man, they know how to deal with the cold.
And it could stall out.
They're
any
in their own
advances
backyard.
that the Ukrainians are planning.
Collapsing
And
with
same
Casey.
goes for the Russians, of course.
I don't
So what
give
we're
us a
looking
year.
at is,
We
the
will barely
Ukrainians
miss
are
an
moving
ice-free
forward as
Arctic
much
as
they
melt
possibly
season looks
can
like it
to
will
gain as
continue
much
into
territory
October.
before the onset
Full
of
economic
really
collapse
cold
possibly this fall.
Let's switch gears for just a quick
Damn,
moment here.
Casey,
Listen to what
that's...
President Biden just said about
I
Taiwan.
got no time for my Bitcoin to
how the
cash
US
in on,
would
man.
respond if China were
You're
to
killing me.
Man, I'm barely going to
There's
get my
one
new
China
computer on.
policy,
Holy
and
fuck.
Taiwan
Killing.
makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not moving. We're not encouraging their being independent. We're not. That's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact there was an unprecedented attack.
So unlike Ukraine, to be clear,
Mr. Blue
sir,
313
U.S.
Setstven.
forces, U.S. men and women would
PSH.
defend Taiwan in the
Collapsing
event
with
of a
Casey.
Chinese invasion.
Yes.
Lol cheers.
This
Drink
isn't
all
the
the
first time
beers.
the president has said something like this, but that's
losing
a
his
lot
mind.
less ambiguous. And that is not official U.S. policy. Why go that far? Is that risky?
Dummy Leo.
It is
Cheers.
certainly risky, Anna, and I think in part what the president was doing was
It's risky because Joe Biden is losing his mind. He's not making sense anymore. And they need to fucking Article 25 that motherfucker.
Have he ever made sense since he has been president?
By the way, cheers, Nick. What was that? What was that, Cyber?
I say, have he made sense at all since he got president?
Oh, has never made sense. No, he hasn't. He's been demented the whole time. He wrote the crime bill, man. He's fucking evil and he hates women. And he smells kids.
I saw that
and
clip,
he
man. That is
manhandles.
fucking creepy, man.
Puts his hands on women and moves them around and hugs them weird. And he was hugging Hillary Clinton and wouldn't let go of her. And it was just really, he's an
Mr. Blue
uncomfortable
313 Setstven.
boundary
ISIS
offending
water is life. If you did not start
freaking
life, you
violator,
don't control
dude.
its
He's a
end
boundary
PSH.
violating, offensive fucking creep. He's creepy. He's like a creepy old man.
he was outlining the fact that, and the Chinese are well aware of this, that the United States has what's called an operating plan to defend Taiwan. We've had one for many years, and the Chinese know that we
Collapsing
have
with
this plan.
Casey.
They are also maneuvering
And
their
people still.
forces to show
It's
that it
insane.
would be very difficult for
All
us
of them
to
are
defend
monsters.
Taiwan. They can defend
Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. Biden is way more PD.
Yeah, well, he smells
Mr. Blue
children.
313
Who
Setstven.
sniffs kids?
Super creep.
Who sniffs children? Who does that?
Yeah, that's fucking creepy, man.
You know, who does that?
Gross bastard.
certain parts of it, but the Taiwanese are at risk of being surrounded by a Chinese naval blockade. As one example, the Chinese now have that capability, which they really didn't have before, and they showed that in their latest exercise.
It's like one of the reminds you
Deep sea fishing. Grabs people with a grip lock. Collapsing with Casey. Lots of churchgoers sniff kids.
it reminds me of those that fucking thing that Alex Jones discovered, that he investigated, and they were back there worshiping owls and dressed up in fucking fluffy uniforms and shit, whatever the fuck they're doing, with walking around with swords.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian
That was what it was called.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, Bohemian Grove. I was outside the hedges with my camera crew. We were waiting diligently. I was tenting out there, and we had our water filtration system, and I was urinating, of course, into the water purification system. We were drinking my urine out of our water purification system because it is so ultra purified. By the time your urine makes it through one of my water filtration systems, you've got the purest, cleanest water that you've ever had. It is like something coming off of an icy glacier. That is how fresh and clear my urine was to drink. Now, of course, it was still body temperature, which made it a little unsettling, but it was crystal clear, and it still was yellow. But I'm telling you, the flavor was all gone. It was just straight water with yellow coloring, and of course, the color stays in there, of course. But on that day, I only snorted half a line of ultra potent super male vitality because it is so ultra potent. And then, when I was done snorting that half a line of ultra super male vitality, I waited at least 4 entire agonizing seconds until I went back and snorted that second half of a line of ultra potent super male vitality. And let me tell you something, I'm rocking ready for my day. I'm pointed north, and I'm headed in the direction in which I am going. And let me tell you, nothing in at least the range of 3.5 inches gets in my way. All right, I have this complete boundary defense system at exactly 3.5 inches.
This WKND and felt more lost than leading rhetoric.
Or he should do one of those space sap, whatever that thing is with Alex Jones.
I don't know what a green bass is. So is that not a largemouth? Largemouth bass? Bro, you guys got to see this mudfish that's stuck in my creek right now. I want my buddy to come over with his net, come over and net that thing so we can go release it out in the river.
Dude, that was the absolute best Alex Jones bit ever. Goddamn, I'm dying.
We haven't even talked about the interdimensional shape-shifting reptilian aliens who can literally just read your thoughts. And, the nuclear reactors are turning the frogs gay, of course. And we haven't talked about that either. So, we've got plenty of topics. What were you saying, Nick?
Do people eat mudfish?
I wouldn't. I think they're full of bones. But this one,
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. I have a feeling people eat them. Because people eat just about goddamn anything.
They fucking do, man.
It's a cousin of the largemouth bass.
Collapsing with
green
Casey.
bass.
Fuck, I just broke a rib.
Holy shit, that almost looks like a snake's head.
Casey got fucked at the drive-thru. That's what happened. They fucked him at the drive-thru. You got fucked at the drive-thru. Oh, Anthony, he's a big boy. He can speak for himself. What'd you say? I'm funny? What? Like the way I talk? What's funny? Show me funny. What's fucking funny? How am I funny? We're done with this clip. Why are we having it on screen? Psh, it's killing me, man.
Yeah.
Expert warns of violent threat to U.S. democracy.
We turn now to democracy and politics. University of Chicago professor Robert Pape studies political violence. And Professor Pape, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's good to have you here in person. When we spoke back in January about the research you've done at that point, you issued a warning that stuck with us because you talked about the threat of political violence.
Fuck you
around
in the
midterm
drive-thru.
elections. We are 50
Mr. Blue
days away.
313 Sexton.
What are you worried about now?
I only eat real
Margaret,
top
Trout.
we have
fresh
not just
water,
a
crappy
political
dog
threat to
bluegill,
our
walleye,
democracy,
trout,
we have
and
a
such
violent
PSH.
threat to our democracy. It's important to remember that
Trout
January
are
6th
killer,
wasn't
bro.
just
Cat.
trespassing. And
Whoa,
going into
whoa!
a
You don't
federal
have
building.
catfish on there, bro. You don't have catfish on there, bro. What happened with the catfish, man? Catfish are awesome freshwater, bro. What about crawfish, bro? You don't have crawfish on there, bro.
Thousands of individuals use violence to stop the peaceful
What about, bro,
transfer
freshwater
of
mussels?
presidential power.
Dude, freshwater mussels are bomb. I got a creek.
yeah.
I got a creek full of them.
Margie Control. Hello, how are you doing today?
Hello, Margie.
Mr. Blue 313 Sexton. I don't FW catfish. I don't do scavenger. Dave Sea Fishing. Have you ate any from the creek?
No, I haven't eaten any from the creek.
Margie Control. How are your PS doing today?
Good, thanks for asking, Margie.
Dave Sea Fishing. Catfish is gas.
Yeah, it's fucking fire, bro.
Dave Sea Fishing.
You know how to cook that shit right?
Sweet meat.
Oh my God, catfish. Oh God.
Well, we have been
Dude,
tracking
fried
at our
catfish.
center at the University of Chicago, the Chicago Project.
All right,
on
let's listen to what
Security
this
and
guy's
Threat
going to say.
For a year and a half is the violent portion of that insurrectionist movement. Today, there are millions of individuals who don't just think the election was stolen in 2020. They support violence to restore Donald Trump to the White House. In fact, just over the weekend, that is just a few days ago, we conducted our most recent nationally representative survey. Today, there are 13 million individuals, the equivalent,
Mr.
I
Blue
should say, of 13
313
million
Sexton.
individuals who support
Catfish
the
is bait.
use of
PSH.
force to
You're lost, bro.
restore Donald Trump to the presidency.
It's about 5% of the U.S. population.
5%.
Have extrapolated that from your research. That's obviously disturbing. I want to ask you about the context we are in right now, because we're seeing a lot of stressors. The economy, clearly one of them, and what we've been talking about today, immigration and migration. You were on last time talking about something called the Great Replacement Theory. And that is the belief among some of these insurrectionists that the Democratic Party is trying to replace voters with new people, more obedient voters. How widespread is that conviction, and does what is happening now in cities up and down the East Coast trigger this?
It likely could, Margaret, reinforce these fears of the Great Replacement. To be clear, we're focusing on not just support for Trump, but the violent support for Trump that overrides democracy. And when you look at that, what you see is there are two big drivers among those 13 million individuals. The first driver is this fear of the great replacement, the idea that the Democratic Party is replacing the current electorate, the current white electorate,
Collapsing with Casey.
more minority voters
Most
from
places
the
in the
third
Northern
world. And
Hemisphere hit above 10 for F this summer. Crops fail at 10 for F. Dave C. Fishing. You can keep 10 mussels per person a day in floor, I read.
Casey, we're gonna have crop failures everywhere. I try to explain that to people. We do not have the capacity to throw everything into greenhouses and feed the world, man.
Be clear.
We're gonna have water wars. We're gonna have food wars. We're gonna have land wars.
Non-U.S. citizens cannot vote in federal elections in the midterm races, just to be abundantly clear.
That is correct. It is a conspiracy theory, but it's not just on fringe social media like Parler, Gab, 4chan, 8chan. This is every day on Fox News. It's on Newsmax. It's on One America. It's on talk radio. So this is driver number one. Driver number two is a belief in the QAnon cult idea, which at first blush sounds a little almost laughable, that they would believe a satanic group of pedophiles runs the U.S. government. But we've done focus groups with these folks. And what they really mean by that, Margaret, is that there are politicians that have gotten on the Lolita Express with Jeffrey Epstein and have taken money for foundations, for political support. For corrupt, that's what's really going on. So if you marry those two together, you have a dangerous cocktail. You have the fear of this great replacement happening by a Democratic Party, and then you have the fear of corruption and immorality, and that's that dangerous combination that's leading to violent support against our democracy.
So you just mentioned QAnon. And as you just explained, it's a set of conspiracy theories involving sex trafficking. And there is this belief that former President Trump is the one person or one of the people who could end it all. And I want to play some video here because at a political rally last night, Mr. Trump used a song titled after a QAnon slogan. I'm going to play the sound, and
where
listeners
we
will have
one
to listen
go
to the
one, we go
music,
all.
not necessarily what the president's saying. Listen to the background music.
It would never have happened with me as your commander-in-chief, and for 4 long years, it didn't happen. And China with Taiwan is next.
That is a QAnon song. The former president has posted images of himself wearing a Q on his lapel on
Where
social
we
media
go one,
with
we
the
go
phrase,
all.
The storm is coming.
says
That's
at the
another
bottom.
one of their slogans. What does all of this mean, and is it threatening?
First, it is threatening. Just to cut right to the heart of it, what it means is that the former president is willing to court not just supporters of his, but those who support violence for his goals, number one of which is being restored to the White House. This is extremely disturbing because to the heart of it, what it means is that the former president is willing to
Happened with me as your commander-in-chief, and for 4 long years, it didn't happen. And China with
not necessarily what the president's saying. Listen.
Oh, is this not YouTube? This is YouTube, right? Okay, cool, yeah. This is fucking crazy, bro. Crazy time. Look, oh, look at this. Oh my God. That can't be real. That's not real, dude.
That has to be fake.
Yeah. Because I see some weird shit going on. Come on, dude.
Nays
Oh,
Garden.
that's his grandkid.
Download Twitter or visit twitter.com and search at Nays Garden, at Nays Garden Show, at Truthia News for the full podcast experience.
Dude, that's
YouTube
crazy.
channel at Truthia News on Twitter.
That dude's got like 6,000 followers on Twitter, bro. Holy, I don't know why I saw it because, oh, I'm following the guy. Wow, dude, that is fucking rough. Yeah, that's the timing. So this one, it's pretty good. They make a really good point here at 2.
Collapsing with Casey.
So how far in was it?
Take care, guys. Thanks, and thanks, Nay.
All right, Casey.
Good to see you on Guy's channel.
447. Yeah, man. Send me a message on Twitter at Truthier News. TRUTHIER News. One word. Dude, what the fuck is that?
Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. NF Salad.
It's so fucked up, dude. Newfoundland. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, guys. Holy shit.
Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. I see 13 watching and for thumbs up, Quinson.
Oh, and 4 thumbs ups. So, Bad Bad Blue Draws says 13 people are watching and I only have 4 thumbs up. That might help me get some more notifications out there to more people, guys. But I'm pretty torqued, I must say. Wow, you guys want to see what's going on in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Oh, the hurricane? Yeah.
That's fucking shitty, bro. Oh my god. They just got dumped on, bro.
That is crazy, man.
I am.
Sure.
What else is interesting and fun and exciting worth talking about? Let's see here. Top of the hour.
Want to smoke?
I'm afraid so.
Hell yeah. I'm ready.
No law regarding cannabis, everybody. Cheers, Cyber. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers, brother. Cheers, Nick.
Cheers, y'all. Oh.
Mr. Blue 313 Setstven. Top cheers.
Yesterday, I bought a laptop with a 3080 graphic card. I'm sitting and watching on a video right now where they fucking tell me that the new 4090 just dropped.
It's just like when I fucking buy goddamn crypto or sell crypto and fucking market drops. I'm like, fuck.
But I wouldn't be able to afford the new graphic card anyway. So, a laptop with a new graphic card. Yeah, I got a new laptop yesterday, Nick.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, coming tomorrow. So if you swing by, you can borrow my old laptop so you can play computer games.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to save up to get me a decent PC, but it probably won't be a gaming PC.
Another guy who's got great hair. Newsom signs controversial social media bill into California law.
Social media.
What is the controversy, Jimmy?
Yeah, what's the controversy,
Well,
Jimmy?
he signed a law on social media transparencies. That's what they want. The social media, he says, protects this law protects residents from hate.
Oh, God, here we go.
The government's going to protect you from hate, everybody.
Here we go.
Isn't that nice? The government's going to protect you from other people hating you.
On social media.
The government.
As they invade other countries.
Yes. The government's going to protect you from hate and disinformation. Oh, my God, I've been so confused. I've been saying, when is the government going to tell me what to think? I keep being disinformed. I thought that people actually referred to Los Angeles as the Southland. Turns out that's just because of car commercials. That is disinformation. I'm so dumb, I need the government to come in and clear shit up. AB, that's Assembly Bill 587, will require social media companies to publicly post their policies regarding hate speech, disinformation, harassment, or do you say harassment, and extremism on their platforms and report data on their enforcement of the policies. What?
Huh. Hey, Billy.
They have to report data on their enforcement of hate speech, disinformation, and harassment. So here's the problem. Well, let's a little bit more. I'll get to the problem in a second. The newly signed legislation will also require platforms to file semi-annual reports to the state's attorney general's office that will disclose their policies on hate speech, extremism, and disinformation. The state's attorney general's office is also required to make all terms of service reports submitted pursuant to those provisions available to the public in a searchable repository on its official internet website. I don't care about that shit. So listen, hear this. Okay. This is Californians will not stand by as social media is weaponized to spread hate and disinformation that threaten our communities and foundational values as a country.
What?
Fucking jackasses posting on Facebook is a threat to the foundational values of our country?
Wow.
Free speech is a threat to the foundational values of America that was founded on free speech.
Good catch, Jackson. That's exactly what he's saying. That's called a contradiction. He's contradicting himself. You're sick because it's very terry. Because, or do you say terry? Foundational values as the foundational values of this country, as Jackson just pointed out, is free goddamn speech. Californians deserve to know how these platforms are impacting our public discourse. And this action brings much needed transparency. No, this is just government controlling fucking speech. That's all this is. And so what's the big problem? How do you define hate?
Exactly.
How do you define disinformation? Because the government wants social media to declare me hateful. And AOC, who's a congressperson, said that I was directing hate at her and violence with my wordies.
My wordies.
So is that going to be not allowed? How about disinformation? When we tell the truth about Ukraine or COVID, is that all? So now the government's going to tell you what's hate and what's disinformation and what threatens our communities and foundational values.
That
now
should suffice.
Gavin fucking Newsom, as he tells you to stay home and get a jab and wear a mask and not go to restaurants, is going to sit at a restaurant unjabbed without a mask on, right in your fucking face. And that's the guy who's you're gonna trust to tell me what's hateful and what's disinformation. That a politician that's as big a piece of it as that guy. I'm not going to trust him, but you are, because
what?
In China right now, that is what's going on. In China, you cannot post anything on the fucking internet without the CCP have fucking approved it. If they don't approve it, they take your account down and you end up on the fucking police station. They are fucking controlling freedom of speech like never fucking before, and it looks like that's what's going to happen right there in California. Holy fuck, dude.
Woohoo, communism.
Yeah, exactly.
They just passed the law.
We should just listen to whatever Obama tells us.
Yeah.
I think we'll be safe.
Social media has created incredible opportunities, but also real and proximate threats to our kids. Oh, the children. To vulnerable communities. So that's what every dictator says, that he is restricting free speech to protect you from the outsiders.
Exactly.
Well, you're a racist if you support free speech.
That's right. But you're a racist now. So if you support free speech, like on Twitter, you're called a racist. I'm not kidding.
According to the White House website, YouTube is launching, and they're very happy about this. YouTube is launching a new program and campaign to help young users identify manipulation tactics used to spread mal, and disinformation.
According to who?
Little
They
rats.
said the lab leak theory on COVID was disinformation and a conspiracy theory.
I got banned from Twitch because I said that there were biolabs in Ukraine, which is now guaranteed. It's proven by our Undersecretary.
It was admitted by the Undersecretary of State Nuland.
Nuland. She admitted it in a Senate testimony.
This new law will finally pull back the curtain and require tech companies to provide meaningful. No, this new law will finally make censorship real in California.
Yep.
That's what this law is going to do, and people love it. Because they see it as fighting Trump. But what you're really doing is giving the oligarchs and the corporations all the power to censor you. That's all that is. You're not fighting anything. You're fucking
It's
yourself.
fascism. It's the uniting of the
Corporation
state.
and the government to restrict your speech and thoughts and your free exchange
yeah.
of ideas.
Quite literally fascism.
I'm pretty sure that's fascism. I am grateful for Governor Newsom for signing this bill and for his leadership in protecting kids. This is about protecting kids, not about controlling the discourse around vaccines, big pharma, the wars, military-industrial complex, oil. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about that Gavin Newsom gives a shit about the kids. Hey, by the way, did his daughter ever get vaccinated? Never heard that story. Google that. Can you Google it, please? See when they announced Gavin Newsom's daughter getting vaccinated. Can't find it. Isn't that weird? According to the Washington Post, several big tech companies and tech industry trade groups have filed lawsuits in Texas and Florida in an attempt to block similar social media regulatory laws enacted in those states. The bill has also raised concerns from legal experts, citing First Amendment and free speech as their No kidding? No kidding. The bill is likely to be struck down as unconstitutional. So they know this. Gavin Newsom knows this. He knows it's going to get struck down as unconstitutional, but he doesn't give a shit because it's going to get him votes with the shit libs who are pro-censorship.
Just so you know, according to ABC 10, they said that Gavin Newsom's daughter had not been vaccinated, and that was back a year ago, October.
So I still, if someone can find proof of his daughter being vaccinated, I'd love to report it, but I can't report it because I can't find any proof of it, and nobody's asking him that question. And when we did a YouTube video about remember when he disappeared for like 14 days and then he came back out and people were having all kinds of speculation as to why he wasn't on camera? We did a video about it. YouTube took it down.
What?
YouTube took down our video speculating as to why Gavin Newsom was AOL in the middle of the pandemic.
AOL.
They took it down. They took it down, and they won't tell us why.
Wow.
I say, I didn't know that. I say, can you give me the timestamp of what we said that was offensive? And they said, no, that's an internal document to YouTube.
No way.
Yes. Yes.
That is
they took down
crazy.
5 of our videos.
YouTube
that was
gave
one of them.
themselves the fucking award
That
for
video
free
was going
speech,
viral
man.
too. I
Wow.
remember that.
Yeah. The bill is likely to be struck down as unconstitutional at substantial taxpayer expense. The censorial consequences should trigger the highest level of constitutional scrutiny, but the undue burdens and lack of consumer benefit ensures it won't survive even lower levels of scrutiny. This bill is just bullshit.
Right. It's a waste of money and time.
This is the equivalent of DeSantis sending immigrants to Martha's Vineyard. This is a stunt. That's what this is. But it's a stunt. It's a horrible stunt because it makes people accept censorship under the guise of protecting kids.
Was sending people to Martha's Vineyard not a horrible stunt, Jimmy?
Why don't you ban HBO? Why don't you ban the internet? You want to protect kids. Kids could go on the internet and see dicks being rammed up asses all day long. You want to protect kids? You from the ideas that people are writing, but not that. As my blog post mentions, there are several other bases for constitutional challenges. By the way, so that's the kind of thing that the California legislature and governor can get done. They can pass a censorship bill like that and get the governor to sign it like that. You know what they can't do? They can't give you health care. Supermajority Democrat in California. Supermajority. Can't get it done. They keep telling you, vote more Democrats and we'll get health care. We ain't getting shit. We did not have the votes. Legislator kills the bill for single-payer health care in California.
Cheers.
Facing a deadline for its passage, Ash Kalra, Democrat from San Jose, he pulled his single-payer health care bill. Why? He cited a lack of support for the measure in the Assembly, which is supermajority Democrat. Democrats don't support single-payer healthcare in California, and now you know why you got to stop voting and donating to Democrats and Republicans, because neither of them are going to help you.
That building.
He makes a really good point there, guys.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the show. I will see you tonight. Love you guys. Make sure you come follow me at Truthier News on Twitter. It's Truthier News, guys, or truthier.news for all things Truthier. All right. Thanks again, guys. I hope you all had fun.
Trendy Nick.
Yes.
Hash keep it open.
Hash keep it open. Yes. Yes. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.